Welcome back to TEW 2016, The Branding Solution, and we are here on Smackdown with our last show before WrestleMania, with our main event, Bayley, Asuka and Becky Lynch versus Charlotte, Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. But first we're going to lead on with the pre-show. I'm not going to lie, I don't think this show's going to be the strongest we've ever had. It's difficult with Smackdown because they have a pay-per-view straight after Mania, and I don't really feel like I've got enough space for matches on the Mania card for Smackdown. I believe after tonight there's only going to be 5 women's matches on WrestleMania, which is also a squeeze to fit that on because the card is so stacked, it's unbelievable. But let's get straight into this with the pre-show, where G Next pick up the first victory. Taryn Terrell picks up her own victory. Then we have the Jet Set. Need them to get a little bit more motivation because they're my jobbing team. They defeat Dobson and Jacob. I gave Rosa Mendez a win. Yeah, her finisher's called Hell Makeover. Well, I don't think anyone's ever seen that finisher, but she has one. I also gave Cameron a win. They've both been kind of on the decline list, so I want to give them a chance. And Emma picks up a victory over Vivian, which is good to see. Makoto picked up a win. Haven't used her much, and she has a negative crowd reaction, so I'm not too happy with that. But still, we have plans. And then finally, the Psycho Ward picked up a win, as again they're one of my jobbing tag teams. We open the show with a showdown between the 6 women in the main event tonight, and Paige comes out to join them to announce that she is ready and willing to get back into action, and she'll do that next. Most of this is just an exchange of words between all of them, saying how they're going to win, either become champion, retain championships, prove to be the dominant team on these two, win the Intercontinental or retain the women's. So nothing overly fancy. And in Paige's return match, she beats Summer Rae to start the show. Yes, they will be on opposite teams, so this is good. It was only an angle injury, so she could do promos and stuff, so it worked really well for us, because we didn't need to keep plugging everybody in a match every week. So we just went with this, and it's a good solid first match of the night. Hoping to hang on to the crowd was this, but it didn't work. We just continued to push our new Nightmare tag team. Video packaging. And then we gave Technically Flawless a win before they head into their tag team championship match. Taylor Hendricks is continuing to improve, which is good to see. Afterwards, though, the Forgotten Generation can't say you won again. You're still unbeaten, I believe. It will change on Sunday when we retain our women's tag team championship. We then move on to give Kimberly Leather Bates a nice win over Kimberly. I felt this would be the best choice because I want to keep Leather Bates looking good because she is in the 5-on-5 women's tag team match. We then have a promo from Edge, the GM for Smackdown, and he has come out to announce the brand new championship that will be debuting live at WrestleMania. The women's championship that will be joining the card will be called the Debuts Championship, which means if you have ever held a title, singles or tag team, you will not be allowed to fight for it. That's only WWE titles. And if you lose it, you are not allowed to challenge back for it. but you can use it as a cash-in option for a future match, not a Money in the Bank type match where you can cash in after a match. So a challenge to a champion of your choice throughout the year, which I think is going to be quite a good one. It also gives us like a battle royal to go for it at Mania. But this brings out Natalya, and she is not happy that she's going into WrestleMania. She's not got a match, and she's not eligible for that match because she is a former champion. And I believe, very loose word I'm using here, that she is the only woman who isn't currently in a match that isn't eligible for this title. She's not happy with Edge, so they go back and forth, and she wants to prove that she's worth having some form of match at WrestleMania. And Edge agrees and books her in a match next. And that match is against Nia Jax, who defeats her. Yes, I gave Nia Jax a big win going into WrestleMania. She is part of the heel team, so she also won't be in that match. Unless she wants to be. Probably won't be doing that, but still. And then her partner in crime, Carmella, comes out to attack Natalya. But Taryn Terrell makes the save. So yes, continue things on a bit more. We then have Alicia Fox picking up a win over Cheryl Evans. I think Fox needed the win more than Evans, so this worked well enough for me. And we cut to the backstage section, and we have all 8 of these women talk about how great the opportunity is to be given a shot at a new title. You have to remember, Naomi, when this game was being played, had never won a title, so she is still eligible for this. I know she was or is the women's champion in real life, depending on when this video comes out and what's happened. So all of these people are eligible, and they're psyched about the idea that they're going into WrestleMania. And to be happy about this, we have a 5-on-5. We threw a few other names in there. As you can see, like Dana Brooks actually in a match. It happens occasionally. And we gave the faces a win. No, we gave the heels a win. Because I think Carmella's my most over of this lot. So I gave Carmella another victory. We then have Booker T interviewing Sasha Banks back about her upcoming title defense against Bayley, as Sasha explains all a bit more why she turned on Bayley and why she is going to maintain and retain this dominant streak as the top woman on Smackdown, just to keep this going before WrestleMania. We then threw in the New Midnight for another victory. Performance-wise, they're up to the 50s, so they're doing really well, just to keep them looking good. We then cut to the heel team backstage, just psyching each other up for the main event and what's going to happen at Mania. A bit of a cooler match, as we gave Ember Moon a victory again over Ashley Lane. We know that Ember Moon's still, I believe, singly unbeaten. We then hyped the main event for a video. And wow, at 88, we went for it on this one. We put all 6, open match, just go for it. I'd like to think that the end was just everybody hitting their finisher on each other before Bayley hits the Bayley to Bayley. Bayley to Belly on Alexa Bliss for the 1-2-3. Bayley and Sasha were the stars of this show. As you can see, Alexa Bliss was the kind of weak link, but not terrible. And that's a great match to actually finish the show wise this way. I was quite surprised it was that high. And afterwards we have Sasha and Charlotte knocking Asuka and Bayley out, Sasha holding her title over Bayley, and Charlotte grabbing Asuka's title and holding that over her as we see the power trip, the two women power trip holding their titles high. Going into WrestleMania, is this foreshadowing what we're going to see? That's going to end the show, and we'll see that we got an 83, which is probably the best Smackdown I've ever had. So I'll head back to the main screen and see what news has come through. And we are back to the main screen, so let's check the news. There are a few injuries here. We let someone else go. Weren't really using them. Not really a problem. Unless I just used them in last night's show. I'm pretty sure we didn't though. No, as there's no picture, they definitely didn't use them. I tried not to use the non-picture people. As we look for news, 2 complaints by Tyler Breeze and Oblivion Max. And Makoto can't sell. Well, is that a problem? Probably not at the moment. We'll change their pushes soon. I'll do it off camera. Creative meeting though. We have Hula Hots and Knots. Somehow all the women have come off that list. And the Knots, we got Rosa Mendez going the right direction, down off the list, and Cameron's off the list. Not sure when Mustafa Ali's on there. He hasn't actually debuted as a solo person yet. Never mind, but we'll be back next time with Shockwave, and we are getting ready for WrestleMania. Thank you for watching.